brand manager for KFC Jamaica. Easy decision for us at KFC to throw our support behind the JFF and the Reggae Girls in their final preparations towards the Women's World Cup. We know that it's been a long and challenging road, but they have been tremendous ambassadors for brand Jamaica. And we really at KFC we like to throw our support behind anything which represents the positive side of Jamaica. The Reggae Girls have been tremendous ambassadors for us. 2 consecutive Women's World Cup, no easy feat. And I think we really underestimate our, we don't fully comprehend sometimes what a tremendous feat it is. So for us at KFC Jamaica, we have long been supporters of, all different pillars of our society. Sports, education, corporate social responsibility. We try to do our best to give back to our communities surrounding our restaurants and also to the wider Jamaica at large. And so this is an easy decision for us, just to really just help to make this last few months of preparation for the Reggae Girls that much easier as they head towards Australia. And so it's a $6 million cash partnership, $6 million cash sponsorship, and an additional $1 million KFC products, which we know it's an immediate need right now, especially for the cash, just to finalize things like airfare and stuff like that for the girls heading towards Australia. So we definitely we're glad to come on board. We know that it's going to be a tough challenge for them in Australia, but a challenge that they are very much capable of. And we're all rooting for them. We know we're all going to be watching. And for us at KFC, we're also a sponsor. People know, we're Khadija Shaw, one of the faces of the Reggae Girls, is our brand ambassador, and so it's an extension of that in some respects. Going from Khadija Shaw, who is one of the faces of women's football, and just expanding our partnership to the wider Reggae Girls fraternity heading towards the World Cup. So it's a great phase for us as a brand in terms of our sponsorship and our corporates, our outreach in terms of the sports development landscape. And so we're looking forward to big things for the Reggae Girls in Australia, looking forward to big things from our brand ambassador Khadija Shaw. But separate and aside from that, we're just really proud of the Reggae Girls, and we're glad to be able to give our small contribution to making their last lap of their journey that much easier.
A pretty decent injection of cash, $6 million plus $1 million worth of product. That's a pretty decent investment, and the JFF now must ensure that they do get value for money. The girls are actually here now. They go to Amsterdam for a camp leading straight into Sydney, Australia. From there, I think we have a game against Morocco, and then our first game will be against France. From a preparation perspective, the coach actually insisted that he wanted a camp here because there were some players that he really wanted to look at in detail. He has gotten a camp. He will name his final squad around the 25th or 26th, and then we take it from there. He has repeatedly said that he thinks he has a far stronger unit than he did the last time. Hence, we're expecting that we're not just going to the World Cup to participate, but we want to be competitive. Of course, we want to win some games. We want to move from the first round. We want to ensure that this women's program impact the social well-being of every single boy and girl in this country. We will be starting a talent identification and development program soon. We have trained over 300 D-licensed coaches. They are now technically equipped to guide the process of this grassroots and talent identification and development program. So there are a number of things on the horizon, and we're just absolutely excited at what will happen down the road.
Is there one thing that you've seen so far in the camp that you guys want to tighten up or shorten up ahead of the World Cup?
I mean, that's a loaded question. We need to tighten up and sharpen up on everything. We're playing some of the top 10, top 5 teams in the world. So everything in the camp, whether it's finishing or defending or passing about 1 yard or 50 yards, we got to tighten up on all the tactical aspect of the game. And especially the functional part, we have to make sure tactically and functionally that we are very adequate.
Chemistry-wise, what's the camaraderie within the Reggae Girls camp?
It's great. It's great right now. One of the best I've seen right now. I mean, obviously it's not perfect down here, but with us, there's ups and downs. But we have a set of girls who has been through battles before, and as I describe it to them, that hey, we're all in a foxhole together. And if one person is not operational in a foxhole, we all gotta go on. So we better be ready.
And you speak about certain things that you need to sharpen or tighten up on. How has the progression, positivity in terms of the progression been with these girls in the camp so far?
Well, it's just 3 days, but I mean, every day is better. You can't ask for anything better than that. So if every day is better, what we got to do now is our young players catching on and just our more experienced players. Our experienced players are leading very well right now, so which is good. I'm very, very proud of that. Previous years and stuff like that didn't happen, but we have some experienced players who are taking some young players on their wings and just leading us through.
And how are the young players faring out so far? You spoke about them and the experienced players. How are they faring out, the young players so far?
Oh, they're very appreciative. It's kind of like a follow the leader mentality, but they also want to compete, and they also want to make the squad. So if they're going to run you over, they're going to run you over. So I mean, there's no prisoners here. Everybody's fighting for a spot.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm Etana, and you're watching WDT Media TV. Keep it locked. It's unfortunate that we doesn't have a game for a send-off, but I think the girls are so focused on we're having a good training session going forward, and so I think we're trying to prepare and not think about the difficulties that we're facing and just focus on getting better towards our goal.
The camp here in Jamaica for the last few days, how has that been so far?
I think for the last couple of camps, I think this one has been the best we've had so far in terms of chemistry and everybody kind of buying in. As Coach said, it's a very competitive environment, so it's hard to befriend the people who are here trying to win spot over. But I think this camp we have truly become a team and just support each other and each other. I think that is something that we've been trying to get again, and I think we finally have it. So I think our chemistry is one of the biggest things that's been so good in this camp so far.
How does it feel that FIFA is finally recognizing women so
I think it's a blessing. There's a lot of players who I know that actually need this money. And I think it's about time that FIFA finally starts seeing us for who we are as women, and I respect them for that.
Looking at it also too, in this second appearance for the Reggae Girls at the World Cup, the squad is pretty much different from the first in terms of its makeup and composition. As you were one of the senior players, what about the youngsters coming in terms of motivation?
I think that's one thing that was good about the last World Cup. We also had young players, and I think those young players have had the experience now, and there's still we still have some young players, and I think the younger one that comes in, we motivate them, they feed off us, and I think that's been a good thing because I feel like they're as good as the experienced one, and so having them there is definitely something good for us.
What motivation do you take from the Matilda's Cup in Australia earlier this year in the tournament there, and of course another thing later on in the year when I think we played one other team in terms of a win?
I think we left off on a high from the tournament in Australia, which was really good, and I think our takeaways is definitely that we're not afraid of teams. Even though we lost to Australia, they were surprised that we came out the way we came out, and that's what we wanted to be like, to keep surprising people, because a lot of people don't expect us to be this good.
What's the expectation of yourself personally as a teammate and as a player going into this one?
Personally for me, I just want us to be in the best mental state as a group. And I think once everybody has the right mindset, we will do good. And I think just supporting my teammates, whether I'm on and off the field, that's always been my biggest thing about being on the national team. It just feels like a family.
I definitely believe that there's talk about second round. How much of a confidence do you believe that that's possibility for our
For Jamaica, especially for this our team we have, we're more of a team that shows more than actually talk. So I think we're going in with a lot of people thinking we're not going to do good, but we don't need to say anything until the games come. And I definitely think we can go to the second round.
And a follow-up to that question is that Panama were defeated in the first time the Reggae Girls qualified for the World Cup. They are drawn in our group as well. Some view them as the weakest link. You'll see any positive results again in Panama?
Football is a very funny game. Obviously, people can say stuff like that, but for us, we go into every game like we've never played a team before. And so I think that's the type of mentality. I just know me and my teammates, we're not going to go there and just let them come and just walk over us.
Certainly, with the experience you girls have gathered, especially in the US over the last 4 years, certainly you expect to go in this World Cup with a different mentality, certainly probably a stronger outlook. How do you do that?
I think it's good that we brought a lot of players. Maybe they didn't play in the last World Cup, but they have a lot of experience in football, especially English players. So I think that's a very good addition for us. And I think they bring that professional mentality to us. And I think everybody has been feeding off of it and bringing good energy.
And my last question.
Selected yet, so I think everyone knows that there's competition for places. And like you said as well, a lot of us are coming off of a break. I'm just coming off of a 2-week break, completely doing nothing. Some players are on a 6-week break, some players are still playing, so the whole squad's not here. So we're kind of, all over the place in terms of where we're at, in terms of player-wise, but everyone seems to be in good spirits, so the team vibe is really, really good. We're enjoying being around each other, so, training's been excellent.
This is your first World Cup with the team. Psychologically, how are you prepared, or ready are you for this challenge?
Yeah, obviously I don't really get, nothing really phases me in any kind of situation. I come with a lot of experience, obviously playing in England for so long. So I hope that I can bring that experience to the team, and like Coach said and like Denisha said, our team is probably the best that we've ever had. So I'm actually really, really confident in what we can do once we get to the World Cup. We could surprise everyone that's there. It's not going to be a surprise to us once we get there, but for every other nation it will be a surprise to them.
A key part of our defence. Certainly you must be on your A game, and your defence must be our weapon for us to have any chance. I think we will be able to be at our best on the championship.
Yeah, I can kind of compare this to CONCACAF and how that kind of went. We knew we had a tough group when we were going to Mexico, and a lot of people said we wasn't going to make it through the group. Our preparation was pretty similar to how this has gone, and we wasn't peaking, too soon. But as soon as we got to the tournament, we were ready to beat Mexico in the first game. So I feel like this camp is quite similar. Once we get to Holland, once the team's selected, then it's go time for us.